Hello, William Jamming. Welcome to my channel. So you're watching a series of video of Unity game devlog, semi-devlog, semi-tutorial. Okay, so let's continue. So previously we have done something like this. Okay, so let me quickly show you. We've done this jump. Okay, we've done this like move and jump. We've done this flip. Okay, and I have drawn tons of quick animation for this sprite. Okay, so everything seems pretty good, and we already got the basic movement ready. So let's tackle some of the advanced movements. So right now we do not have the ground check as well as the wall check ready. So why do we need that, by the way? Okay, so let me quickly go through this. You do not have to like visualize all everything inside your head, because I haven't done that. Okay, I have not made this, so it become really hard for you to visualize it. But just trust me, okay? It will be so much easier if I build something and you know that this kind of check works. So just imagine there is a wall. Okay, your character like leave the ground and stick to the wall. Okay, so leave the ground, so the ground check is not on the ground. The ground check is like a ray cast, and it knows that it's not on the ground. Okay, then you sort of reach the wall, and then you can like jump again, or you can climb. Okay, there's all sort of mechanism that you can implement in your game. Okay, so that's the reason we need to check the ground as well as check the wall. Okay, so hope that makes sense, and let's get to it. So in order to actually do that, I'm going to go back to player. And right now it's in the play mode, so let me just pause everything. Let's go back here. And by the way, please subscribe and give this video a thumb up, okay? So I know I can get a kind of feedback, or please comment so I can get some sort of feedback. Because I got tons of projects going on, as you can see. iOS, Android, Unity, Godot, Unreal Engine, and JavaScript, Chrome plugin, and machine learning, VR, AI, all sort of thing. So yeah, if you're interested, please give me some feedback so I know that I should update this because you like it and you need it. Okay, and yeah, let's get to it. So what I'm trying to do, or header movement, yeah, I'm going to add some of the let me just get everything about the collision inside here. So what I'm going to do is to add a header. Sorry. So I'm going to add a header, and that header will give you all the collision. Come on, collision properties. So every collision properties will be here. So this way is much more organized. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to declare some of the collision. The first is the ground collision check. So what I'm going to do is to add a serialized field so I can get it outside, so I can interact with it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is serialized field and private layer mask ground layer. Yeah, we can do that, but I can like directly move it inside and change this. So what I'm going to do is just private and transform and ground check. Okay, and ground check radius. Yeah, so it'll be a radius. I can just get a distance. So yeah, I'm going to use distance for this one. Of course, you can use a radius, okay? And it's a float. Yeah, that's good. We must do what is ground. Yeah, we can do that. So what is ground? So basically, I'm going to use a specific layer and create a new layer. Say this is ground, okay? And this is wall. This is something like you have to like click and choose that, create it. It will make so much sense later. Right now, just bear with me, okay? And then, of course, I also want to create a wall jump. So I'm going to add the wall as well. Let me just place all this together, I think. All this ground together and the wall together. Okay, and is ground... Yep. Let's just get a serialized field right there. And private. And I'm going to make a... like same transform, ground check, transform, wall check. Same method. Wall check, that's brilliant. And wall check distance. That's pretty good. Okay, so like the wall check distance, wall check as well as ground check and ground check distance. Okay. And yeah, we will talk about the wall later. Let's just focus on the on the ground. Okay. So yeah. And when the preparation is ready, let's dive into the actual code. And here's a trick here. Okay. In Unity, we got an amazing tool called Undraw Gizmo, and so basically, when you use Gizmo and you draw a line, and then this can be really helpful when you go into the debug and give you a visual representation. Which basically you just use Gizmo to draw things, and you can see it's like a raycast but visualized, so you can actually see how much of the say the collision, the physics check, all that you can actually check. So whether I actually collide or not. Okay, so it's a really helpful tool, and I'm going to use this as a draw gizmo function to help you to visualize things and help you later as you get really complex project. You may need to debug this. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's go back. Let's go back down here. Flip controller here. I'm going to make it here. So what I'm going to do is to, whoa, that's a compiler pretty smart just to come up with the code. So private void on draw gizmo, that's pretty good. Gizmo draw y sphere. Yeah, that's pretty good because it just automatically get the sphere distance. But it's pretty confusing because you already got this the collision shape. Okay, so you may get overlapping. So let's start with just one line. Okay, and then on pretty complex project, we're going to draw this like a rounded shape. Of course, if you have to do that, you can make a ground shape. But I think the wire line is much more straightforward. Okay, so private, I'm going to partially accept that. Draw gizmos, and I'm going to say gizmo dots. Instead of a draw wire, I'm going to draw just a line. Draw mesh, draw ray. Oh my gosh, tons of things. Okay, I'm going to say ground check. That's great because we already declared the ground check. Here. Okay, ground check, transform. Okay, so get ground check as position, and I'm going to get vector 2. Yeah, vector 2 is already good enough. You can use the vector 2 or vector 3. Right now, vector 2 is already enough because it's like a 2D game. Okay, so ground check's position x and ground check position y subtracts the ground check distance. So yeah, that's pretty good. So remember, we need to subtract the distance because that's the kind of like a threshold. After that, you're going to check. So you can just subtract the position. Okay, like going down. Okay, so if it's like a wall check, okay, you still need to shrink a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty good. And of course, then wall check. Yeah, wall check. Add that a little bit. So yeah, so we can get the wall check position x, because wall normally would get the x-axis, ground is some y-axis. Okay, hope that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to happily accept the changes because wall check position x, add wall check distance position y. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm pretty amazed that compiler can quickly get the code down. Okay, it saves me tons of time to actually type things. Okay, so if you think that just to look at the code is too vague, let's go back. Okay, I promise you it will make sense. Let's just get rid of all this visual cue, like icon. Yeah, gizmo, select outline. Yeah, I don't want this icon. Let me just make it smaller. All right, just make it smaller so you guys can actually see, but without without actually won't be able to see it. But I don't want it to like cover the player. So if you look at inside the player, we got player, we got animator, which is not enough because we actually need some game object to attach to. So what we do is to right click, let's create a empty, okay? And yeah, empty game object. I'm going to say this will be a ground check tool. Okay, so right now there's nothing here. Okay, but if you go back to the player, remember we attach this, we add this code in the player. So player script, we got these collision properties here. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. We got ground check none, but it needs to be a transform. And ground check distance, we haven't like actually input something yet. Which ground nothing. Okay, we need to add that later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to remember I just create a new ground checked or game object, okay, which is here. But if you click it, it will be gone. So it's a little bit tricky. So you have to click this player first, and then you just click and drag it inside. Right now, do not worry about the distance. It won't make sense, okay? So I'm going to click and hold this and move it here. Of course, you can use this to actually select this, okay? But I prefer just to click and drag. It's much more intuitive. So we got a ground check, but there's nothing there, okay? There's actually nothing there. So what I'm going to do is to move it up and zoom it in a tiny little bit. And I can use ground check distance to actually draw that gizmo out. So if I use it and click and drag, I got like a line coming out, which is brilliant. And remember, the ground check got a parallel player. So if I want to move this, okay, so if I move this, we've got move tool. I can like move the whole ground check. It's like a pinpoint thing down a tiny little bit. And of course, you can just hit play, and then hopefully right now you will compile and hit the ground, and you can actually see whether it like collide the ground. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can actually see. Okay, so this way, so that's the reason we needed this sort of a gizmo to actually let you see that, oh, this is like a distance, this is like a collision check. Okay. So and let's stick to the ground, and I think it's pretty solid. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. And I'm going to like stop this game. Okay, and normally I wouldn't recommend that to get really long because that's a little bit redundant. And sometimes if you like there's overlap, something will go wrong. So what I'm going to do is to just make it like more conservative. Okay, here. And here is your challenge, okay? I can't stress this enough because I stress this all the time. When you like follow along some tutorial or learn something, do not like fall into the tutorial hell, because if you just watch it and copy whatever things that the tutorial said, you will not actually learn this. So you have to actively think about this and try things out. So here's your challenge. I can't stress this more enough. You have to do this, okay? It's really, really beneficial. I learn great things, acquire a great amount of things by using this method. Whatever things I learn, I try to do this myself and actually learn this and be creative. So here's a challenge. You pause this video and you add another wall check, okay? To see whether you can, make this or not, okay? I'm going to do 3 seconds. And I will continue. 2, 1. Okay, let's continue. So what I'm going to do, yeah, you may have already guessed it. Same method, exactly the same method. So create empty. So instead of ground check, I'm going to say wall check. Okay, and yeah, just go to the player, click. This time I'm going to do something else. Okay, I'm going to just get this wall check, click. And I can choose the wall check game object, so it'll be a game object here, but the distance is not here. So what I'm going to do is to add some sort of distance. Okay, and I'm going to click this wall check to move it a tiny outside a little bit. Okay, so yeah, maybe be a little bit conservative. Okay, you don't need this amount of wall check here, yeah, that's brilliant. So get to check a game object that attached to our script. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. And in the next video, we are going to actually, apply this check. Okay, so don't forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you got any suggestion, please leave in the comment section. Okay, thanks, bye.